Welcome to LoyalTV. This week we stay in Oklahoma City to ride the rails from the present to the past and learn how the idea of Oklahoma streetcars has been around longer than you might think.
I think Americans have a romance with public rail systems. It's the epitome of what we would consider a backbone of a great public transportation system. It's one, though, that it does work, and it has worked for generations. In late 1901, our local Anton Klassen and then Chartel together started building the first rail system here in Oklahoma City. At that time, access to a private vehicle just didn't exist. Early on, the very first iteration of this was actually what they call a hack, and that was actually a horse-drawn carriage where they were pulling with horses this large trailer behind them with seats, and then it progressed into this electric streetcar. So by 1906, Oklahoma Railway Company is what they were named at that time. They'd already seen 3.5 million riders that year. And then they'd also experienced at a profit, which is rare in public transit, but they'd seen a profit of what was equivalent then of $53,000. Then eventually you would see interurban transit. Now, interurban transit allowed us to travel between cities. That would include El Reno, Guthrie, Shawnee, Norman. I believe 1920 was the year that they celebrated their highest ridership in a year, and that was over 20 million trips were taken in 1920. So that's a pretty phenomenal number. We were up to 140 miles of track, and there was close to 150 cars in service. During the World War II effort, nationwide, we saw the role of women change. Filling those factory positions here, that's when we actually did see 24-hour bus and streetcar service 7 days a week. So it was in October of 1946 that the Corporation Commission approved to actually remove all streetcar and rail service and to implement full bus service. If you look back in some of the archives at the Oklahoman, you'll actually see that there was some coverage of those last few rides that were taking place. And in fact, it was actually grieved. A lot of people were really disappointed in that and really wanted the city or just someone else to come in and step up and take over that and keep it moving. It definitely felt like that was the end of rail transportation here in the Oklahoma City area. But what we've seen locally lately is that that was just really it just went to sleep. And that came when they voted to approve the 2009 list of projects, where we had a $135 million project here to build a 4.86 mile streetcar system. Well, it's a much smoother ride than what they knew in the early 1900s for sure. But you've got a smooth, quiet streetcar system. It's spacious. You can fit over 104 on the streetcar itself. And you've got 22 platforms that you can use to access the streetcar system. But if you look at it today, you'll see a lot of dirt being turned, new trees being planted, and a lot of construction taking place. And that's, again, are signs of economic growth. And one of those impacts is the fact that the streetcar is there.
As our communities continue to become more connected, we at LoyalTV will continue to be bringing you the best Oklahoma stories you've never heard.